Six Flags Great Adventure, the coaster king of the East Coast, is the perfect home for today's competition in the eyes of Rhino Page and Jason Belmonte. You see, the thrill seekers made sure to stop by one of the thrilling major coasters here at the park, Kingda Ka, serving as the tallest and fastest coaster in the world. Kingda Ka reaches top speeds of 128 miles per hour, and it's over 45 stories high.
What a trip. Whoa. That's eyes alive. Sick.
And we welcome you back to the poster boys of the PBA, Rhino Page, Chris Barnes. And we flash back to the 6th frame. The southpaw. Left the 7. While Barnes found his 5th strike in 6 frames. The lead now stretched to 38.
Chris is in the high 220s. Rhino Page, low 190s. This guy's in command. He's been solid throughout this entire competition.
Two-time All-American at Wichita State. His wife, Linda, 12-time Team USA member. There is some good bowling DNA in their twin boys, Ryan and Troy, I'll tell you that.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, boy, I thought that was a 3-bagger, and instead it's a 7-10 and an opening for Rhino Page.
Yeah, an awful break here. This ball is going to get right, and it's actually going to roll out. You see the ball kind of start to go left and then straighten out. And what's caused by that is too much friction being created. The ball is spent of energy. But anyway you shake it, a pocket 7-10 is a bad break because it leaves you with an open frame instead of a 9 spare.
Rhino, we just saw you ride Kingda Ka. This match has been a bit of a roller coaster. How much of an opening do you see after Barnes' open frame there?
Well, it certainly gives me a lot more hope. You know, throw a quick double here together, and I'm down 14 rather than a lot more than that. So just going to try to go out here, make 2 good shots, and get myself right back in.
All right, Rhino, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
You got it.
7th frame for Team Bayer, Rhino Page.
Hi, Rhino. Hi, Rhino. So one really good one right now.
Well, you don't. A lot more serious now because you don't have the whole team to back you up. You're out there by yourself.
And a lot more money's on the line as well.
You're right.
Wobbly.
Kidding me.
All right, right down. Really good shot.
Now he's getting to the pocket without any success in terms of pin carry, so a little bit too much angle on the back part of the lane. Rhino needs to tighten that up a bit, try to control some of that down lane reaction. That's why when ringing 7 solid 6 pin, he still has a chance, a spare here, and he strikes out. He can shoot 220 right now. Chris Barnes at 215.
3rd consecutive 9 spare, and we talked about it in an earlier broadcast about how these young guys of Team Bear just whipped that single pin spare ball down there, and Rhino Page with some anger issues at times on those, that, you know, just the way it looks like. That sucker whips out there.
Well, you know, when you start to get older, you start to slow down a bit, Rob. When you're young, you can just zing it down there. And it takes you 3 or 4 balls to get warmed up. In practice, when you get older, it takes you 10 or 20 minutes.
Hey, just like in any sport. So we begin the 8th. Down 25 is Rhino Page. Again, he leaves one standing. Chris Barnes, you're sitting there on the bench seeing spare after spare after spare after spare for Rhino Page. How does that affect your game plan?
Well, to be honest, I got a little better, bigger lead than I thought I would. I got the pretty lucky break in there, but Rhino's just back and forth just a little bit. And, you know, he's had a chance to put some... He had a chance to put some heat on me, and, you know, I was fortunate to get out there.
So Barnes will take over in the bottom of the 8th after that open frame 9. He left the 7-10 split in that 7th frame and took care of the 10 pin.
Has not missed the pocket. He could easily have the first 6 or 7 strikes in a row.
Page stewing a little bit there on the bench. He knew he had an opening and he needed one, and it was given to him, and he didn't take advantage of it.
And Rob, right now, Chris Barnes, all he has to do is stay clean, meaning any kind of mark, 8th, 9th, and 10th frame, and he's going to come away with a victory because the best Ronald Page can shoot is 209 if he strikes out. And there you see how smoothly Chris Barnes' bowling ball reacts off of that friction zone, and that's because Chris is a real heavy roller. Hand underneath, a lot of end-over-end rotation.
So better rack this time. Let's make a better shot, too.
Barnes made 8 televised shows last season. Many of them in the second half of the season. In fact, all but one in the second half of the season. It was a great late run, really put himself in position to win Player of the Year honors, which was eventually taken by his teammate in this match, or this competition, Westmore. And there's that strike in the 9th.
And that's all she wrote. That puts him in the 2 teens with an open frame. The best Ronald Page can shoot 209. Chris Barnes is on his way to giving Team Geico a 1-point lead in this championship round. The ball change for Ronald Page.
Just his 4th strike of this match.
Chris, are you able to really control the back end reaction of this chain pattern? Ronald Page now second-guessing himself, thinking maybe this ball change was too little, too late.
Now, you and I talk about that throughout the season, that these guys, as the competition increases and the player talent elevates, you are forced to make those adjustments earlier and earlier and earlier if you want to win. And wait until the 9th frame is not going to do it.
So it just shows you with no matter what ball he's throwing, it's just not entering the pins the right way, and that's why his carry is bad.
It's like 180.
Yeah.
So Page will close out in the 10th.
I probably would have given this game 240. Strip it all, right? Yep. Come on, back. Throw it right-handed.
His
You hear
teammates
his
are
team trying to keep him loose. Throw it right-handed.
barking encouragement there.
Yeah, I don't know if that's encouraging or not.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, as Rhino Page started off with back-to-back jacks. After that opening 2-bagger, he collected just 2 more strikes for the rest of this match. Make that 3 more. It's all about ending on a good note, but a sour score for the young guns of Team Bear, and in particular Rhino Page. He sits with a 189. And now up Chris Barnes. We've been calling Team Geico Team Middle Age for a while. I received some encouragement to adjust that name to Team Prime.
Team Prime.
As in you're in the prime of your life.
Geico
like
picks
it.
up the first point in this championship
So
round.
late adjustment. Team Prime now.
Yeah, that was so
Prime.
good. Yeah.
Well, here's a guy who's in his prime, that's for sure. Chris Barnes, one solid 8-pin away from possibly winning another Player of the Year in a U.S. Open. Those that watched that U.S. Open show, Chris Barnes left a solid 8 against Mike Scroggins to follow that up with a weak 10 to end up losing that match by 1 pin. And then Mike Scroggins went on to beat Norm Duke.
There'll be better days for Rhino Page.
224 for Chris Barnes.
An anticlimactic conclusion there as Barnes was in control since about the 5th frame in this one. 224, 189, a 35-pin victory. So Geico takes match 1 of 3 in this championship round. We'll hear from the winner when our coverage returns to Six Flags Great Adventure.